Oikein hyvää päivää, iltaa. Kello on 18. Tervetuloa mukaan Vapauden puolesta lähetykseen. Tämä lähetys tehdään englanniksi, niin vaihdetaan suoraan sitten sille kielelle. So welcome to Vapauden puolesta for Freedom live stream. Today we have some international guests. We thought it was appropriate at this time to have a conversation about how foreigners in Finland perceive this country, the people that live here, maybe what they miss from home, and how they perceive generally the current situation. We try to keep this conversation civil and orderly. That's why we jokingly call this Foreignly Finnish, and we'll see who we have here today and where we end up. We have a few hours reserved time, and we have enough battery to last all night. So if we get excited, we'll just keep on going. But without further ado, let's say hi to our guest.
Hello, my name is Ami Singh. I have been living long, 27 years here, have studied and completely came Finnish, I guess. Jatketaan sitten myöhemmin.
Hi, I'm David Lopez. I'm from Spain, from Malaga. I've been here since 2010, 14 years. I'm a holistic fitness trainer and also have bachelor in psychology. So that's it.
Moinka, I'm Carol de Los Angeles. I'm from Argentina. And I came here last September, so I'm super new here. But I have a perspective to share with you and hopefully to have a good afternoon. My background is in sociology studies. I'm also holistic training in neurolinguistic educations, and my goal is in education, emotional intelligence, and especially in children and families.
Those of you who saw the stream from Vappu, we also met you on the street, so maybe you want to continue on that. What were you talking about? If you haven't seen it, I think it was like three hours or something like that. In that part, you can find when Carolina was ranting. So maybe we'll start from there.
In what minute? Mary knows the minute. 4?
We'll figure it out.
Yeah,
I'll find it out somewhere.
Yes.
So we can start from that if you want to continue on what you were talking about. So let's ask, like, how do you feel being in Finland?
Well, since last September, it was a huge journey for me to face the winter here. My first super Nordic winter, dark and super cold. I'm coming from a place in the Andes, western Argentina. Temperatures never goes down than -1 is like the coldest temperature that we have. So it was kind of difficult, but here I am, and now I really love all the super connections for me people with nature. After so many winters here, I can understand so many things in the culture. It's really one of the factors of sociology and anthropology, is the weather and geography. But yeah, I want to share many items with you guys. I'm super excited also to meet you. And well, what I was saying in Vappu is I think it's a very nice opportunity to really start to think what we are going to do after this pandemic is like the after huge moment that we have been facing in Latin America. It's an entire other world, the way that we face pandemic. COVID-19 changed all the rules and everything, and the government really put a lot of control in the population. Many lost rights movements. I'm part of activism for the raise up the voice of indigenous, especially women and children. Since I'm not indigenous, as you know, Argentina in the last century, half of the population was coming from Italy and Spain. Most of my friends and people that I know are all the refugees for the last Second World War from Europe coming to Argentina. That's why it's a country totally open to foreign people. But what happened with our indigenous cultures? You know, it's an entire huge conversation, and 19 COVID has been showing us that we really need to go beyond of all the Western white civilization, and I think it's an amazing opportunity. And I think we have very good ideas. I want to share in the last of the conversation, I really prepared some alternatives that goes beyond what we experienced in the last century. Everybody was talking about in the 90s, 1989, the year that I was born. Yeah, age there. Everybody was talking about the alternative was communism to, the capitalism, Western white civilization, and everybody knows that that also failed. So, two dictatorial extremes really end up in so much war that now again, all the ghost about the Cold War is resurrected again. So plus 19 COVID, plus all the economical crisis. So I think we have a lot to talk about what is happening with the minorities, that we are gonna talk about it, what is going on with our human rights, and what is going on especially about our soul. As holistic treatment expertise, I want to really share what can we do as individual, so we don't have to feel so much powerless about the situation. No? We can really do something, and we have a lot of good to share. So if you want, I can start to do some question. For me, especially this moment, is what do you guys move you in life? What do you really feel in the morning? Okay, this is something that moved me to life after all the death around, no? Because life and death so close, and more than ever, I think. So welcome to life. That is my message for today. I don't know who wants to start it.
Yeah, well, for me, what brings me to life is nature. That's one of the reasons why I also live in Finland, because I love the nature. My morning routine is, I call it to be aliveness. I practice aliveness. So I just go with my dog and I swing into the water every morning. So I walk, I jump into the water, be in nature, and try to be as more connecting with myself and with the nature.
I'm sorry, I need to connect you a little bit better. Where's the other part?
Yeah.
Hello. So I'm hearing some extra sounds. Let's try.
Now?
No. We'll figure it later.
Meanwhile.
Here we go.
Now?
Let's try now.
Hello? Hello?
Yes. Now.
Perfect. So yeah, I was saying that for me, what moves me in life, my passion, is to be part of nature, to be more integrated within nature, and basically to go back to our humanism, like to get back to our roots, what makes us human. basically more to live more organic life and be connected to nature in every levels. But of course, with the upgrade of the technology, using technology for our advantage, instead that the way we use our technology is to disconnect from ourselves, instead of connect with our environment. We are just looking at the screen and we are just disconnect from our body and from our surroundings. So that's my passion, and that's what I would love to bring into this culture, and that there is already this culture is very in touch with nature, but with all this technology and all this thing, we are all getting more disconnected, and it's something that is a pity, because I've been learning so much from this culture, and the reason why I live in Finland is because I came here in 14 years ago, and in the moment I tried the ice water, I found the connection, and then from there I started to, like, Finland changed my whole life. I went to the sauna, and then I went to ice water, and in the moment I tried the ice water, I shocked my body, and I found the connection with nature. So kind of like the sisu spirits of being courageously, and kind of like it teach me, since I've been in Finland, I've been learning how to improve my well-being through the cold water. So I really understand how important is being nature in the culture of Finland. Those are the things which are brought me here very much, and to stay here.
I love nature, and because I'm coming from that country where it have been green, I have seen in my time when I was child, and suddenly I come to cold place, and it was shock for me too. First time I came to airport, and I was wearing the half. It was so cold, and I remember that time it was March, and too cold for me, and I was shocked. Totally different culture, different peoples, nobody speaking English much, and went to school after 2 weeks, and I'm just sitting with the Finnish kids. Nobody speaks English that time. And we talked with teacher with hands. So, but after that I have found a lot of positive things in here. Very, what I say, honest people, helpful people, and I started to learn Finnish. In 2 years I was ready for the speak Finnish very well. Nature is very, very close, have been close to me, but now I started to figure out that we are growing up and the technology is coming, and I'm seeing my kids also, they are just sitting on the phone and the computer, or we are watching just TV screens, how the humans are destroying this global wise, and the weather has changed also. If I can't dream anymore that the same weather what was in 90s time in Finland, there was on the time everything, and the winter on the time and the summer, and nowadays we just don't know what is going to be next. Is summer is coming here or not at all? So it's too much change, and I have been learning about farming, And what I can say, in 2020 in India there was worldwide protest, farmers protest. So I have learned a lot of things. I didn't knew about anything farming, but I have learned a lot of things, and now I have been following that how the farmers are suffering around the world, and they are demanding for the rights. Before that, I was fighting for the equal right for especially ladies. In Finland, the foreigner ladies, they are living very little time, and they don't know the rights, they don't know the laws, they don't know the regulations, so they don't speak much Finnish. So I was with them and trying to help them and bring the things out for the all the police or the immigration services. So, but it wasn't went like I thought it. It's easy that if I go with them and then tell to everything, but it was a long way to run, and still running. It's I don't say that anything is changed much, but then back to farming, and I started to learn about that also, and now I can say that in Finland the farmers, they don't get actually much from the government. They are the people who is suffering because the weather, it's very cold, so they can't bring much with farming, but then they are not getting help much from anybody that they need to get. I love to do for the people and help. I love to help the different kind of people who is suffering from something, some way. But I can't help alone. I think I need a power with a lot of hundreds, maybe millions people. They can come with the same way that we can help. Yeah, we can help to others. As a human, I love to. I think the humanity is gone. We are became very selfish. We're just thinking about ourselves, that we need to get this and we need to go get that place, and we are not thinking that there is a lot of peoples around the world. They are not getting even the food for twice in the day. So I don't know how, but my dream is to bring back that time when we was really humans. We was helping each other, and we had a feelings for each other. We wasn't that selfish. That is my motto for the future.
I'm super happy that we are the three kind of connected, and now I can share what moves me. And thank you for sharing this, because really I can see that it's no casual that you guys invited the three of us want to help. That is our common thing, and each one has their own perspective. What moves me is to really empowering the inner child voice. For me, is the soul voice inside, and if we, as you said, see from this perspective, we are gonna come back to the innocence of, which is not naive, because many times we confuse those two concepts. Innocence is to come back to really feel the good values and the hopeness in humankind. From your perspective, and from your perspective is exactly the same than mine. And I really see hopeness in this perspective that indigenous families has been teaching me. Over my past 12 years, I've been literally living with different communities. I come from a place where our indigenous is called huarpes. It means people from the sand. And sharing with them such a beautiful moments like making food and breakfast in the fire all together, living as a circle and evaluating the little things. They teach me how important is family, how important is social connection between us, but from the spirit, from the level of soul. And in Mayan community in Mexico, when I was there, and when I met my husband that is here, and he brought me to Finland. I'm here for my husband, but also I'm here for my life because I was connected with Finland. I will tell you after how I connect with Finland. But I want to finish this idea that there is a lot of hopeness in this indigenous point of view. And I have one of my biggest dreams is to really connect with different indigenous community to learn about how they can really live with such a not that much material stuff, but especially with so many skills that they have been really keeping even beyond all the repressions that governments does to them, because they are the first focus to destroy when you want to build a republic in Argentina, in Finland, in every place. It happened the same. So one of my biggest dreams were meeting Sami people, and I was in Lapland 2 months ago, and I did an interview. I did a wonderful interview to them. I hope to edit. I'm not good with those skills in technology.
I always wanted to go.
Yes, I want to share with you the interview. Once I finish, I will have help to edit. They really share me things that I think is very valuable to also Finnish people. I also met one girl, 20 years old, that she told me how was bullied by the Finnish in the high school, and I wanted to share with her and with all the public that, you know, this is not the time for come back to the ancient way of say, oh, this is my tribe, I'm gonna destroy your tribe. You know, we are still tribal fighting, and all this psychology and sociology reasons we can say, okay, we can do it different. And how do we do that? I learned holistic way to do it. I do regressions for do that, and regression to the heart. Many people confuse it with past life therapy. It's so much more than that. It's also a systemic point of view to heal with our ancestors, that they did it so many times for so many generations the same, that we can say honestly, okay, thank you for life. Thanks to them, we are here alive. But by honoring to them, we give us the permission to make it differently. How? In this way, no? More social ways, accepting the others, go beyond the difference, see that the difference is nothing wrong with the difference, and make diversity something very evaluated, and say, oh wow, I enjoy the diversity, international cultural diversity, colors of skin, nation, religions, point of view. It's such a beautiful, our humankind, that we don't have to destroy this. And globalization, especially in COVID times, is destroying that, specifically right now. So one of the main points that I want to share with you is the power of the seed. In Latin America, Monsanto companies and all of these companies that you already know them, or if not, you can search about it, because these are the face of the system that they collect the seed, taken away from indigenous and destroy them. So GMO and all of that is something. So I was studying and research, making a very deep social project about Vandana Shiva study, that she's from India, and I'm part of International Regeneration, which is an international group to recover the soils, make very good alternatives to say, hey, this is the time to come back to the nature, but in a very practical way. But what is the problem? One of the main issues that if we spread this many people said, "Oh, what are you saying, Carolina? That we have to everybody come back to the land again? So what is gonna be all our, ancestral dreams?" It was, "Oh no, go to college, dedicate your life to the service, the third sector in economy, which brings a lot of productivity in terms of money for economy of the country." But that is the trick, because if we lost, as you said, the farmers, we lost everything. If we lost the power of the seed, we lost everything. So one of alternatives is we still have technologies. I was part of an experience that I want to share because it's very practical. I really lived this in Patagonia, 2011. It was an international community that we were learning farming, building our own houses ecological way, organic food, to have our organic food, because as you said before, in the war in the Ukraine, the first main things is the supermarket. Exactly. So how powerful it is to be in the city, but having your little way to grow organic food. In Madrid, I found in the roof. This is my third time in Europe, and every time that I come here, I found many beautiful communities that they are doing it. One little thing to end the idea, or maybe I can share it after. There are very sociological explanations why we are not doing this, while we are having very successful examples. For example, in Stockholm, they already doing even by the government institution, the city gardens, communal, and it's a lot.
The thing is that exactly like the rich peoples, they get the power and then they start to destroy. They have been destroying, and even if there is individually you are trying to do something for the nature, there is rules, regulations, laws, and they trick with you that so you can't do. And then you have to think it over and over, and how you can make it for that. But I don't say it's in only the Finland, it's around the world. The laws, rules, regulations. Yeah. Humans create laws, humans create regulations, humans create everything. And then for who? For the other humans. The powerfuls make laws and to destroy the natures. And now even around of everywhere they know the global warming is getting up. We have to save, but how? There is a very small of a group that trying very hardly to save and that nature and trying to global warming down, but then there is a big group who is just thinking for themselves, and they are just wasting more and more. I have seen, of course, in Finland where in a very good way we are saving the nature, and even in schools they are teaching to small kids how to do not destroy nature and how to save and how to separate the garbage. But then there is with that mind peoples that I'm getting food for today, so I don't care if world is going to go. So it's we just want to live in the present and for the today. We don't think about the future. So I laugh for that thought that how you just can't take this thing that I'm getting the food, and it's not the only in Finland. I have faced many around of the world, many people, they are living in just for the time, for today. We are getting food. If another one is not getting, that's not my problem. That's not my headache. They have to do for food. I really hear that, but sometimes I get angry and do tweet with anger that how people can be so irresponsible for that, how they just can think only for them pocket and not the think about the nature. I'm trying with the talk with people. I have lots of conversation with different kind of peoples, and have been arguing with them and trying to make them understand that why we need to think about future. We just can't live. If I say today that, hey, I have lived my half life, so who cares if I'm dying tomorrow? But how about the future? How about those kids? They are dreaming for life. They are dreaming for nature, to see the beautiful world. Why nobody can think about that? And the South, even there is also the kind of groupism that middle class and poor people, I think they think much more about the future, about the global warming, and then there is the richest and the politicians who just think about them own accounts. They don't care about how the people will survive or are going to be humans in the future. But it's big things.
The problem is domestication, I think.
Yeah.
The domestication. This is something that I've been going through a lot in my head the past month, which is how you're gonna leave your home, how we're gonna go all together into a community, into this kind of living, if we don't have the need.
Yeah.
So that's the problem. The problem is the domestication. We are domesticated since we are a child to follow certain rules, certain norms. And then we kind of lost the connection with ourselves and with our environment. So it's very difficult to really get out of your own home and be like, let's go. Even though we know about it, we're still here in our home, going to the supermarkets, you know. So it's very hypocrite that we try to change the others, but we're still in the same situation. So I think that I've been thinking a lot, and that's why all this Corona situation, I'm very grateful, because thanks to all this, is the wake-up call. So it's like if you are watching your TV at home and somebody break down the door and snack your TV, what do? You're like, the fuck you did? You know, you wake up. You are like just watching the TV, but then the moment you get somebody does that, you wake up. And that's exactly what we need. We need this kind of situation, you know, because through this is the only way to wake up. So instead to try to change things, the only thing that we need to do is to embrace chaos. So.
But then there have been in the COVID time there was positive thing happens, but at the same time there have been happening a lot of negative things. If we can think that there was people who was suffering with this sickness and had unfortunately died too, but then there was people who was taking advantage this to COVID. They was making money with that. So it's like both all the time, but the where is it comes always the goodness is go down and the bad things comes up and up. So how we can make balance? There have to be some way. There have to be a people's like I don't say that I am the stronger, but every morning when I think I am making the breakfast, my mind is always running something to do, how to change the world, how I can change the people's mindsets that who are just thinking negatives or just own good.
In my case, I try to not change other minds. The only thing that I really feel true in my soul is being the example, which at the same time, right now, as you say, I'm going to the supermarket, yeah. But I used to live in this way, and I've been traveling a lot to experience and living in the way that I think is super more connected with all the points that we spoke. And yes, my journey of life right now, no, but we have this dream with my husband, and we are really planning. And most of the things that I already did for short time, for example, this experience that I was sharing before, and everybody's welcome after to ask me the link and the information to experience, it really goes into my skin, my body, and said, wow, this is possible. It's possible to live in international community in peace. It's possible to share our backgrounds in many levels and not have conflict each other. And really, everything it was real democracy, which it means the power into the people to rule ourselves. And it really helped the idea that we were, for example, at 7 a.m., pick up the carrots, and I was having Lila from Israel, 65 years old. I was 22 in that experience. So imagine how my mindset was, wow, inspirational. So nobody tried to change my mind, but it was example each other, inspire to be more happier, healthier, and fulfilled inside to share with our families and communities. And other people, very young people from US, from all around Europe. And then everybody said the same. This is our real revolution, you know. There is a very good thinker who said, there is nothing more revolutionary than grow your own food. The implications, even the father of medicine, Hippocrates said, the food, may your food be your medicine, be the medicine, be your food. And such inspirational ideas from the father of medicine, I think he will be really shocked to see how the world of medicine right now in the COVID time, right? So it's like, why? Because we are all the time thinking in the materialism way. This is the mindset that we can really inspire to change from inside to outside. Every time that we need to take decisions, first is the energy level. But this is not a hippie stuff. There are so many prejudices about energies. Why? Because there is something not tangible, we cannot see energy, but it really affects us, and it's started everything there. And then after matter. So if we consider medicine cure the COVID vaccines, it's because we are putting the focus still in the material stuff, no? And give me, you know, for this money or for that something, and it's okay, let's make it something new, which is started to heal ourselves, our belief systems. I do this treatment with regressions and also NLP, neuro-linguistic cognitive training with 21 techniques, different things for different topics. Of course, it's a lot to talk about it, but I wanted to share that I really see, for example, when I've been doing this in Finland, most of the people have something in common, which is showing me that the collective mind here is still dealing with the grandpas that suffered the past war here. So now with this war, everybody's started again to have the same ghost, and what we are saying to ourselves, you know, me thinking as a finish here, no? It's like, oh, okay, then I had to accumulate, save food. I have friends here that they are saving food right now, you know, after all the things threatened about the NATO and all of this, and say, wow, what the first thing is not thinking, hey, there is a background forest, I can grow food, you know. We have such a beautiful thing in Finland that I really congratulate this country, is the nature around, but also specifically institutionalized care, taking care, for example, behind my house, which is here in Ruskasuo, there are a lot of, plenty enough gardening people doing it. Yeah. So I'm super happy for that, but it's still something that is the pain of anybody interested, right? It's not a need inside, because why is it easier to go to the supermarket until something happens, like a war, right? And what do you think about this possibility that we have as a humankind in the 60s to do something different, no? In the revolutionary time, everybody was dreaming exactly the same, right? And what happened in the 60s is something that is super studied already by anthropology and sociology. Everybody had the same dream, no? Going to the countryside, have their own food, dreaming with a John Lennon Imagine song, no? The Imagine a new world in peace and everybody. So the whole hippie movement failure, one of the explanations is drugs. We were totally escapism in drugs. And now I think it's happened the same, but in different drugs way. Of course, the drugs that personally I don't consume, but I really see this as some problem from here that is super normalized, the level of alcoholism and drugs. And I'm really worried for Suomi culture, because I love these people and I really want that they, hey, show me your power, please. I've been, you know, we have a positive prejudice in South America, no, in all Latin America about Suomi people, like the typical Nordic cultures, Vikings, and whoa, nature. And, so everybody's like, hey, Carolina, tell me how Vikings are started the revolution there, you know, tell me that. And I, well, I'm still waiting. So it's like, yeah, we are trying to do it. So I'm super happy for Vapauden Puolesta, because it's also very healthy for democracy to show, for example, with this activity, give the plurality of voices, diversity. And I was finding each other, Mary, my friend Mary, there that introduced me Chris, and I saw so many hope there, so many people. Even my husband living here for 25 years, Estonian husband, and he was saying to me, I never saw a manifestation with so many people. So I think the spark is here, but we need to organize and channelize it. Yes. And we have different ideas, we can share it. I think really possible the transition cities communities, and I want to share it about it because it's something already studied, not for social science, but specifically like a social movement with hopeness. And well, I already said that I experienced that, but now I want to say to the audience that there are specifically towns in Europe already doing it. They even have their own currency exchange, and they declare as a transition cities and town, and they are living very good life, I think. But now, after COVID time, the system knows that these people is doing the revolution very material way. With no wars, no fighting, no more revolution like a Che Guevara killing everybody. You know, the real revolution changed the thing. So we had to be prepared.
A society inside a society.
Yeah. Exactly. And expanded, right?
I think it's in Finland, especially in Helsinki, you should start from the schools, because I'm working there, so I have seen that the small kids, how violent they are, how stressed they are. During this COVID 2.5 years we are going around, and they are tired. Because of COVID stopped every activity. So they have been just in the school and the house, school and house. And 2.5 years, the small kids, 7 years, 10 years, 12 years, they are tired with this now. And actually, I think they need to bring the something 1 or 2 times in the week for the kids, the nature walk, to teaching the practically, not from books. They are tied to read the books and learn from. I think it should be there should be in the schools, primary schools and high schools also. Why not? They can take 1 hour to take students out and walk, and practically they can learn something about the nature and the positive things from nature. But I have suggested this for many places, but let's see, is it going to be changed? But I think I see myself that I'm sitting in the office, and I'm also sometimes that much tired that I don't want to see anybody, and I don't want to open the computer or phone. I don't want to receive any calls. It's your eyes is tired, your brain is tired. You have been just searching and have been on the net all the day and doing on computer online and everything, and joining the meetings online. You don't see the peoples anymore. You don't socialize. The kids are not socialized anymore. They don't want to see the friends, they don't want to go out to play, they're tired with all. I have seen this the last year from every school, and they have been telling me also that we're just tired. We don't want to be socialized. I don't want to see any friends. So it's depressing, kind of, because we have in Finland, we have a very long, dark, cold weather here, and 2 months only kids having the lights. So there need to be in that system bring something new for the kids also.
Yeah, the problem is difficult to change the system with the same tools of the system. Mm-hmm. So I've always been thinking that it needs to have a point where it collapses, and I think that we are going there somehow.
I have suggested that they can keep some kind of free activities for the kids who, for special those families, they can't afford to pay for the activities for kids, and they can have a free activity. So so they can go for those activities. They can have some hobbies for that. But when it's happening all the time online, and you're just sitting in front of the screen, so you are not socializing with anybody. You don't see the faces. That's
what the system wants.
Yeah.
The new world order, right?
Yes. Yeah.
I don't know if you know the Waldorf school, which is also behind my house. It's one of the biggest one in Europe. Super institutionalized Waldorf education, and they do really exactly what you said. And I've been studying this way alternative educations. No, they are like the 3 biggest one. One is a Waldorf school, also Montessori school, and there is the third one. Education 3.0, and it's got born in Latin America, and it's exactly what we are talking about. And my biggest dream is Puente al Sol is the organization. It means in Spanish, Bridge to the Sun. It's still online, and I'm trying to work in it to make it, organize it in a physical place. But it's exactly kind of a space for parents and children can interact, but also with grandparents. Because what I learned in indigenous culture, children are totally getting a lot of wisdom from grandparents. And here I don't see that. It's like parents are put it in the school, the children. Of course, some of my friends here, Finland friends, said, they do that because government intentionally do that, she said. They want that people work a lot and pay higher level of taxes, and then children go many hours in the school. They are not spending time with their own parents and grandparents, so they are totally all the time in this what social psychology call garage institutions, which is a place where you put your children and bye-bye until the night, you don't see it, and putting parents say, oh, I'm too tired, so if you ask me something, a tablet, an iPhone. So what we are really losing is the inner natural socialization face to face.
Relationships we are losing now because sometimes feels like parents doesn't know the kids and kid doesn't know their own parents, that who are they, and they don't have any connections. There is a lot of that. Kids come from school, they are having 5 or 6 o'clock dinner, and parents are coming 6 o'clock at home. So, okay, I need my time, so go to bed, and then parents have their own few hours, and then they go to sleep. And like it's. I think that the life is coming more difficult. And the relations and the feelings, everything is just vanishing. Everything is vanishing. I from my childhood, I have been living with my grandfather, and I know from my mother's side, I know every single person, and they know me. But then the other side, that I don't know much about my father's side's relatives. My mother have introduced me, but I exactly don't know who they are. So it was like I have been very emotional from that. That I don't from my father's side, that everyone doesn't know me. That's make me the person that I love to be connected with the peoples, with the I love to be with the relationships that stay there in life. Anything else doesn't matter. That you have dinner table, sit together, family. You can have a talk. You can talk about your day. You can talk about your problems. You can cry. You can laugh. But these days, seems like every single family is running. They're having just running life. No feelings, no talks anymore. And if there is something you want to talk, there is phone. So technologies is taking over from humans.
Yeah, I think it's the level of sophistication of the human mind, which has been bringing us to this kind of level. And that's what I've been, when you say about the conspiracy and stuff, like it will be the system for real. For example, in Spain, our grandparents take care of us because there is no other choice. So our grandparents need to be there for my mother, for example. My grandmother was looking at me since I was a child. I was saying to my grandmother, "Mommy," also, because she was spending so much time. So it was my second mom. So every time I was screaming, "Mom, which one?" So I think that in Finland, they have kindergarten when it's free. It's like access to free services. So I think that's super great for people to be able to be more independent, to the woman to be more independent, to be able to work and not be all the time at home cooking and taking care. But of course, there is always good things and bad things. The independency of the people here, like when they are 18, their parents never been looked after of them. They come home, they put the food in the microwave, they eat alone, and then their parents come back home, they are tired, stressed, and everything. So kind of when they are 18, they leave their house. That's it. Ciao. I will see you once per year, you know, because you haven't done anything to me. So why I'm gonna do something to you? So I don't think that everything comes in the way that the system is built, but the system is to provide easier life. That's why in poor countries we are more connected, because we don't have a choice. But in here, an 18 years old can have an apartment. Yeah. In Spain, we live with our parents till we are 30.
Yes.
You know, we don't have choice.
Also.
In Spain, you leave your home, and you live with your wife, so it's kind of like changing mother, you know. So first mother and then the wife, you know. So.
But it's like you are connected with all the time. You are connected with someone. Yeah. You are not alone, and I think that's the what is minus in the Finland, that is highest rate in the depression in Finland, just because you're 18, you're free to go, and they go with full energy. But what happened then? There is no social life. You're alone. Then you're stressed with your study or with your work or with your any relationships and friend relationships. Then you start to depressed.
And then drugs, alcohol.
Yeah, drugs and alcoholic and everything's come in.
And this is a fact that the psychiatric system here show the statistic how 15% rise up the level of suicide under 24 years old. Yes. And this is very worry fact. After pandemic, of course, increase. So it's very important that we take from the system very good political for do this, but also as families and individualism. If you really feel, okay, this is something that I can do something about it, you can really ask help. There are many ways here, and this is still. I was thinking, when you said conspiracy, it's funny that you mentioned that word, because I know many people that when we social criticize the system, that is the target, right? To us, to all of us. You know, even if you mention about the seeds or going to grow your own food, and we think the system intentionalized doesn't want that. They want that you buy it from Monsanto company, from this company, for the industry of food, and they put this target, so divide us to say conspiracy, go down. But in other ways, in South America, this word is starting in the groups in Telegram, the activism, groups started to say it's something as proud word. If somebody call you conspiracy theory of this, okay, I must be saying something good, because the whole system is started to pressure for you to feel it, So it's very nice. And I wanted to ask you whether you see from all this time, coming from Spain, which is the south of Europe, but at the same time, when I was living there, I was meeting a lot of people, growing their own food and having this relation with more connected with nature, but at the same time admiring the Nordic countries' wellness, economical, and I saw the same in Latin America. We had the same. So, what do you think about this? And of course, you too.
What do you mean, like how we see Finnish from our perspective?
Yes, and what do you think about the started to grow food like a way?
Yeah, well, the good thing about Spain, especially the south, is the weather. Like you can grow anything, and the land is great for that. So yeah, I have a lot of friends also who are growing, and they're going more into communities. But yeah, in Finland, what I see different, for example, what happened in the pandemic and everything, is that I was expecting that in Finland will be more people, for example, in Spain, what I've been hearing is that if you have a mask, the grandma tell you, hey, put your mask on. And like people telling to each other, hey, you need to do this. And that was so weird, because in Finland, nobody has ever said anything to me if I'm in the metro or somewhere without mask. But apparently in Spain, it's been like a huge pressure through each other people, especially old people. And that made me question a lot of things, because supposedly Spanish are more rebels, and they're more like, passionate, like fuck the rules and everything. And now it seems like in Finland they are more rebel than in Spain, I also been saying to my friend, and in these kind of groups where people think alike, we are all like a big group. I'm like, yeah, we don't have anything here. Everybody's completely brainwashed. I'm like, how is that possible? So I've been surprised because basically I've been more living here. Like I've been 14 years here. I don't have much contact with Spain, only my family and friends. So I know more or less, but I don't watch news. I don't look any kind of news or anything. So I'm not so much knowing what's going on and how is the situation. I only visit once per year, but since the corona, I was last year only, so not so much neither. So because in here, even though it's been a huge things here, but here it's been more mild compared to Spain. So in here it's been more freedom. And I think that it's just part of the whole thing to attack more those countries where are more population, because those countries which are full of people, they need much more control in order for this to happen. But in here, because people are more following the rules and everything, so they don't put too much pressure.
Exactly that.
Yeah, that's what I think.
Exactly that. In South America, the quarantine was crazy. My husband was, what is going on? He was living 9 months there, and it was closed. Argentina was totally closed during quarantine. Nobody, no foreign people can enter, no people come outside.
Even in town.
Yes, and to go to the supermarket, this was the very highest level of quarantine, and you had to show your identification card last number. Otherwise, you don't go to the supermarket. You had to be in your house, in your box, closed.
But there was, in America, was very bad situation too. It was like a very bad situation in the corona time.
But at the same time, there was a lot of fake news about inflation, statistical things, and the government really, corruption level of governments started in the whole Latin America to manipulate the system. There was already fact that they pay for the central boss CEO of the hospital to say how many dead people in their institution was for COVID, and they were changing the certified, saying that, for example, somebody died for heart attack. Yeah, but it was COVID.
Yes.
And it was not true. At least if the family make with lawyer saying, no, it was heart attack. But many of the families, they were, grieving, losing a family member. So they didn't do nothing about it. So the level of lies is very mind-blowing, and especially because this year, and I really tell this only to prevent, please. I hope this doesn't happen in Finland, please. But I already said this before in the Vapauden interview. They organize an education campaign for children to be vaccinated with 3 shots of vaccine. So little kids of 4 and 5 years old are 95% of the kids are totally vaccinated with graphene in their blood. In Denmark, it was forbidden. In Sweden, there
happened in India also.
The same.
Totally same.
So
it was just so corrupt everywhere, every hospital, every doctor, every politician, so corrupt. They was just making money with the people was just dying. I have lost my nearest friend, and she was just maybe had a normal flu or something, and she drove herself to hospital morning time, and she died evening time. And they told to family that she had a COVID positive, but how they can tell, because there was in the legal way the COVID test come to 72 hours, and in 20 to 12 hours she died, and they didn't give that body to family. So so they couldn't even see the body. So I was very shocked when I heard about her.
How old she was?
She was my age. Yeah, but unfortunately, I knew that it's all thing was just corrupt. Oxygen was emptied from hospitals, but then there was another news that oxygen have sold out of India to other countries. Vaccinations wasn't enough for the India people, but then India was selling vaccination out of the India. So it was like it was hell. Yeah, it was like hell at that time, that 2 years. Yeah, but
Situation, and it's totally illegal to not give the opportunity to have autopsy.
yeah,
So
yeah, but nobody can do anything with this system. It's in the very high level.
we have good examples to do it, but it was very, people had to fight a lot with lawyers and doctors for the truth. We have this movement very strong. So we prove, I say we, because even living here, I was part of online everything, giving thanks to that side of the technology. We were proving the side effect of vaccines. And there are many scientists studies, even from Sweden, one of the biggest one, to show that they were fully not prepared for children, these vaccines. Plus, I have twice COVID. I'm not denying COVID existence, because if somebody said, oh, so you are denying, I'm tired to repeat this, because it's like obviously for me. I have exactly the same, my husband and me, we are lucky to have the same thought, because I was like, oh my goodness, if we don't have this in common, it's ooh. But luckily, yes. The same that Luc Montagnier, the first Nobel Prize of Medicine, who passed away last year in very doubt conditions, French scientist person who said exactly what I think from the beginning. This is a virus that can really kill people in everywhere, but it was made in laboratory. It's a human virus, it's not natural. Yeah. So with that information, everybody should to really search how to heal it. I was having twice COVID. The second one was totally Omicron. I never had the test about it, but of course it was positive, and it was only 3 days, super like a normal flu, where I heal with a lot of vitamin C, a lot of ginger tea, and a lot of relax, because it's also about the fear. You can really feel if you know about spiritual energy. When I had the COVID, I want to share this because I really experienced in my body what is COVID. I really felt like it's something very weird, and I've been asking other people, something very weird behind the nose, going to the brain, like a 1,000 ants eating my brain. And and it was totally down my energy, and I felt it, something very dark technology behind that, and some, technology. And heart center was blocked. So I had to meditate, redouble my meditation, my nature. Hugging trees is my first therapy, and I really recommend everybody in Finland. They, indigenous said, nature is our pharmacy. And here, forest has the most higher level of pure, pristine energy that I've been visiting, except in the Andes, because it's the highest level of energy. I really swear. It's not because I come from there. I really feel it. And I've been traveling around the world. And I'm not like even if I was born there, I'm a citizen of the world. I don't care flags. I love this country because now I live here, and I love it and I respect it. But tomorrow I can live in Portugal. Yesterday I was living in Mexico. My Mother Earth is my place. So I think if everybody feels in the same, there is no point of war, because it's the war here is going to affect us, and actually it's proved. The economy is down, everything. So.
It's same to me also, that I have been living 27 years here, and I usually say that I am almost half finished, because I have been living and studying and having the friends here. but still I can't say that I'm the Finnish. I know my roots are somewhere else, and I probably say that I belong to both of countries. I don't hate Finland. I don't hate India either. Even there is, I don't have any rights there, but still I know that I have born there, and it's a. I have been just wondering how people judge to your outside look, your skin color, your hair color, that we all are humans. We all have hearts, and everything is same kind of looks, just the different color. That's why we hate each other, or I'm used to say, to put the question to everyone when somebody talks about the religion, that who have created that religion? Who have made the different gods? I think God is one, and He made the humans to be love each other, to support each other. Not the human beings have been creating themselves the laws through different religions and the different. Let's make the different countries, and who will live with which color, which skin color, who will live where, and who will having the richest country and who is going to have a poorest country. It's all about the human brain have created these things.
Okay, the human brain.
Excuse me, can I take a mate if it doesn't matter? This is our traditional tea. It's a mate, and I really take it as a symbol of peace. Because this, for example, if you have something that is bother you, no, like it make you feel sad, we are all, most of the people really doesn't need a bottle of alcohol to talk about it, about emotions. You know, we are not repressing emotion. Kind of the opposite. It's like a so yeah, the pros and cons about the cultural things of these items. But if you have something that bothers you, you call to your best friend and say, "Hey, put the water." That means I have a lot to talk, so it's mate. And that is beautiful because we don't need to repress it and we are really connected. But this is also something that is getting lost in the virtual world. And yes,
I hope one day in Finland also it will be in the culture that friends can get together, sit and have a gossip. Yeah, without alcohol, without drugs either. Just naturally with the cup of tea or coffee. That in South, in India also there is the culture that the ladies, when they are free from, they have done all houseworks, they get together, have a cup of tea, and then start ladies gossips. So I miss that thing in Finland, because you can sit with your Finnish friends, you can sit 2 hours in the same room and next to you without saying anything. But that's I have been missing, that can we just talk about anything, any topic, laugh for each other even. So but that's I'm trying to bring. I have a lot of Finnish friends, and they was very Finnish. haven't even tried any spice food except the salt. So I make them for that. Little by little they have learned that which kind of we are, and I'm too much. Sometimes they laugh to me that you are too much talking. I was like, I can't sit with you guys just be saying nothing on the same table. We really need to talk something, anything, any topic.
Without the fear to be judged, right? Because otherwise, what is the point to have friends? You know?
Yeah, exactly.
My friends, we can be my best friends. I really miss them. One of the questions of Chris was, "What do you really miss of your home?" Right? And this, of course, the ability to not hide my emotions and not be judged like, oh no, too much emotional, I don't want to hear you. But then they go to super a lot of drugs and then they show the emotions. Why? You are killing your body, you don't have to do this yourself, especially because it's so beautiful when you really express yourself without this psychoactive.
Yes.
One of my best, I have also Finnish friends very close that they said to me, it's nice that it's the first time that I can talk in this level of deep and cry and everything without being under alcohol and drugs. And I couldn't believe that, really it's your first time. And 30 years old, 40 years old, and they said to me, you know what, we have been taught from the beginning, from the childhood, that to be emotional, expressing in public, it's something that, first of all, like it's gonna bother others, and the second is like no, too weak. You have to be stronger. So the concept of the strength is to hide your emotions, and that I think is very unhealthy to teach children, because that's why after we have this problem in teenage.
Exactly. I agree with you that exactly that's not the way to live healthy life. If you just keep your all pain inside and you can't talk without thinking that, oh my God, they are going to laugh at me, or I'm so weak if I tell them, or if I cry, I'm so weak and they are going to bitching or bullying me. So that's I don't think so. That's the healthy way to live. I think it's I am either very emotional. Sometimes I just when I'm too stressed, I just, if I don't want to talk with anybody or I don't have anybody to talk, so I just go to washroom and the front of the mirror and talk to myself and cry it, and then I feel then it's feel very
Practice.
light, and then you have another energy to level. It's usually I do the things that I just cry for myself and I talk to, and sometimes actually I have got this from my father. My father used to talk with himself when he was driving with India in the scooter. If I'm sitting behind him, I heard something, but he was talking, he was clearing his mind. So I didn't got that time that what the hell, why he's talking, to who he's talking. But now I realize that when I'm talking.
I do the same, but if you do that in public, oh, this person is crazy. But if they do it in the headphones, nobody's crazy. Yeah, you can do it with the headphones. Oh, interesting. So also I wanted to share that it's important, I think, that because this friend, another friend, talking about this thing, about the emotions that I was saying to you, she said something that I don't know yet, because as I said, I'm very new in Finland, but maybe you guys know. She said the mental health things as institutional service here, they charge 200 euros the consult for psychiatric, but the solution is pills. It's not actually psychology. And Argentina is one of the biggest country about the psychoanalyst school there. We have very good schools there, and you talk with the therapy, and nobody has this pressure that, well, the new generations, right? The old generation, of course, you go to therapy, must be something wrong with you. But that person hit his wife, or that woman hit their children and make very nasty things. So, but here it's really super high, expensive, 200 euros one session just to give a pill, not talk. And she said, well, and to that happen, also you had to really, if you want free service, you had to say, I want to kill myself, and then they make you an urgency. And I was super worried, because if that is true, So something from really the service institutionalizing in Finland has to really change for the mental health of their population. So we really need to take care this, but also to find other alternatives ways, complementary. No, of course the therapies, holistic therapies are complementary, and make yourself responsible for your mental health in many ways. No, I wanted to ask you.
I think what I've been hearing a lot in here is like they go to therapy. But basically, what I see the most is like, for example, you don't talk about your problems to your friend, and then you go to therapy when the only thing you need is the support of the community, the people around you, the love of each other. But here it's kind of like, no, you have a problem, go to therapy. Even when I was with my ex, for example, she would say, oh, you have a problem, go to therapy. I'm like, hey, I want to talk to you. You know, I want to explain to you. We can go through together, you know, but it's just like, no, go to therapy. Serious. So I think that we all, well, the only thing we all need is just the community, the love of each other, to have the support. And that's what I see a lot, especially in women here. Because men, sorry, they don't talk so much. So
They are strong.
women have a lot of problems to talk with somebody, to have the support. And that's why also it's very important for me to really, when I do the trainings I do and everything, is more empowering women, because I think that here in this country they are the real warriors, the one which, for me, I think that Finland is a very matriarchal country compared to Spain, which is more patriarchal. Yes. So it's kind of like the thing that I love around here is always being that there is manager, the woman, the boss, woman. Everywhere you go, most of the places, the ones who is more the social character, the one that you want to say something, there is always like the manager mostly are women. So I found that this is very good in that way. For example, in Spain, the women are more repressing each other. So, for example, my grandmother teach to my mother how to cook and how to be more into the service of others. I think that in India it's the same. So it's kind of like, it's like from one generation push the other generation down through women to each other. And in here is the opposite. It's like the grandma already was working and was super independent and revolutionary, and the other bring it to another one, to the next level. The problem comes when they take a role of the man and the woman at the same time. And that I see that this balance here a lot. Like they take the role of both. And then if you try to help them, oh hey, I'm here for you, say no, I don't need your help. I'm independent. So that's how I see this kind of situation in here a lot.
Need more balance.
You already answered a question that we had here from the audience. What would you bring to the Finnish culture from your native culture, and how could it benefit Finnish culture in Finland? But I'd like to hear also from David. What do you think? What could you bring from the Spanish culture? Sunshine, of course, you could bring, but you know what would be possible for you to bring into this culture, and how could it benefit?
Or for example, my problem, my personal problem here is with guys, for example. So in Spain we normally, we call some guy, hey, let's play beach volley, let's play football, let's play that, the action. So that's exactly what I miss the most in here. Like, I call my friend and let's go to play beach volley, let's go to play football on the beach or something. Basically, the action, taking action towards the thing, because every time I call a friend, like Finnish friend or something, it's like, oh, I'm busy today, let's do it next week. This kind of thing, more spontaneous, spontaneity.
Then I also like to hear, we're going to wrap up very soon, so I'd like to hear also, what do you think, and this is for everybody, but David can start, what would be the thing that you could bring from the Finnish culture back to your culture? What are the things that you would like to see other countries, or especially your own country, taking from or learning from Finland and Finnish culture?
Yeah, for me, I'm very passionate about sauna and ice swimming. So yeah, recommending the cold water to all the Spanish, because they always think like they always call me crazy because I'm all the time in the ice every winter, and they see me like, the fuck, you know. So yeah, that's something that I would recommend to all the Spanish. The ice water. And I think that it's very important that if you live in a country like this, that you are in touch with the cold. Otherwise, you have a problem. So I also recommend to all the foreigners that if you really want to adapt to this country, that you really need to go to the cold water, because that's the way that you can really enjoy this country. Otherwise, you're gonna be just at home complaining about the cold, and that's why it's so integrated in the culture to do the sauna and ice swimming, because it's necessary for the well-being, and especially heal the depression. So, girls, you've been here. You've been here a long time. Have you ever done it?
I haven't tried.
I'm
not a cold person.
It's very, very important.
I love sauna, but no ice cold water, no. It's very cold. My body is not accepting the cold. Like it's like I have tried my for my neck. I went to therapist, and she was asking me that should I put cold this ice cold here. I was like, no, it's going to be hurt. Then let's try, and I thought that my body took it very stressfully, that it started to my headache and very pain brings. Then she realized that, okay, you should go to sauna and just take the warm things. Your body is not accepting the cold. Even I have been living here very long, but still I think my body is still in that temperature. Yeah, but I know that I can get a heart attack if I jump in the ice water.
So what would you think to bring from the Finnish culture to the Indian culture? What would be the things, except for the sauna and the swimming part?
No, I don't think so. The sauna will go to India, because there is a summertime already sauna, 45 plus on the road. But from India, I bring to Finland. I like Mark said that the groupism, or can say that energy, the energy to get together and to talk and bring feelings out. What I can say that the chilling peoples, like not just so close. They are just in the own mind and own things, and depressed. And then the spices. I know in Helsinki we do get every kind of spices, but the actual in Finnish food, little bit spices that they get to know the Finnish peoples, because I know that here have been some sayings that old sayings that what if Finland is not internationally doing any business, so what they will have in Finland? Only potato and the snow, what they can have. So I love to bring spices here and energy of positivity.
I thought the question is in the opposite, right? Okay, so what I would love to Argentina and all Latin America take from Finland culture is one of the, well, sauna, of course, I love it. We have the Temazcal, the sweat lodge in Mexico. We have also, yes. But especially the love for silence. I really appreciate to connect with the silence. This also politeness every time I go to Alepa core market. I really say hi to the person, and the person politeness and kindness make a smile to me. I love that from here, the really high education in that way. And other things, we have different codes. For example, to not ask you permission, they just, you know, with the body, like not talking, and say, hey, excuse me. Yes, that is no, but high education in other ways that is super, super beautiful for me. And of course, going to nature, because I know Finnish people love nature, and I hope this is something that they don't lost. They don't, please come back to those times, that Kalevala times. I've been reading Kalevala, and I'm so in love with ancient cultures in Finland. It's one of my biggest passions that I would love Latin America knows more about it, and I think it will be a lot of good values for Suomi people to connect with that. It's pretty beautiful ancient ways to connect with Mother Earth, and every time I go to forest, I feel this connection printed in every tree, printed in every rocks, and I hope this summertime everybody goes to camping and make fire and swimming in the lakes and yes, sausage or any, and really feel connected to talk this summer. Talk with your friends, yes, and be free to just cry in front of them. And if somebody judge you, I hope you remember this conversation. And well, in the south of the world, they really talk openly. So yes, that's I think is very good exchange. And what a synchronicity that we all of the three are from the south of the world, and something that we have in South America. We are saying, the South is the new North, which means we are not replacing the North, but we need to bring more balance, and this is very powerful exchange. We need more Finnish culture in the South. We need more silence, and the system really work here, as you said also, and things get done, no? Because if you go to Argentina, you will suffer that the train doesn't come in the time. You will suffer a lot. You know, you have to really be patient in the south.
When you eat in the restaurant,
yeah,
the noise.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Many things, but
Patience,
you will, yeah.
patience, but Finnish people have patience.
Patience.
That in South we need. We do need patience.
That is very good. High education way.
Yeah.
Any final thoughts or regards? What do you want to tell the people? Final thoughts?
Yes.
Yeah, well, I would love to bring this community to training together. So I was thinking to organize some boot camp in the summer. So if you want to come, it will be great to connect, training together, warrior boot camp. So I would love to get the people of this community from Freedom to come together to training and start to create action, because I think that that's the most important now, to come together and to start to build something. We can start by training together and then start to bring action. My dream is to create a community where we are all ready for any kind of situation. So I know that something is coming this winter for sure, so we need to be ready. We need to be ready for any kind of circumstance that we are living. So I would love that to come together, all together as one, and start to take action towards those things that we need.
Yes, I agree with these thoughts. We are only temporarily living in Finland. It has been such a pleasure for me to live in this land. I've been connected with this forest and landscape since I was 13 years old through Nightwish band, as you know, and many messages for the also inner child and connect with nature, thanks to the lyrics of this band, really made me feel like, okay, there is a lot of hopeness here. I'm not a metalhead, but in this message I want to say that pay attention to Nightwish songs. No, I'm kidding. My real message here is come back to the soul level, and from there listen your heart, where is all the answers there. And I'm gonna leave Finland in this summertime, so I hope we can meet again in every summer. We hope to come back, because really, yeah, my body too doesn't can the Nordic winter, and my husband even more than me. So we sorry for this, but I admire 10 times more than I used to admire Finnish people for this. And only I want to say, let's be in contact. Next Saturday is gonna be my only workshop time here. It will be with a Suomi girl, younger, to connect with the heart beyond generations. So very welcome if you want to know. In my Instagram is there. Welcome anytime. Thank you so much, and kiitos.
I'm staying here, and I will be here, and I love to meet you guys again, and I love to bring new ideas and connecting people. I love stay touched with the new people's meeting and having different issues bringing out. Hopefully we will see next time again, and thank you.
Cool. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I'll say a few things in Finnish before we say bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
For you guys. We'll talk to you guys later at a different time. No niin, muutama asia vielä suomeksi. Kiitos tästä. Sieltä löytyy linkkejä, löytyy chatista vielä. Ja seuraava lähetyshän on pari viikon päästä. Silloin meillä on aivan huikea villi-irtit ja supersankaruus luento, ja tää tulee olemaan siis, striimataan kyllä, mutta jos paikan päälle haluaa, missä pääsee sitten esittämään myös kysymyksiä ihan tälleen näin henkilökohtaisesti, niin jäsenille se on ilmainen, ja sitten muille tulee maksamaan muutama euro, niin laitetaan siitä liput myyntiin tässä pikaa. Ja sitten on vielä kesällä olla mukana niin kuin järjestämässä tätä striimipuolta, niin vapausfestien yhteydessä tai järjestetään ilon karnevaalit. Ne on tuossa kesä-heinäkuun vaihteessa Stockforsissa tuolla Lovisan lähellä, niin me ollaan siellä striimaamassa. Jos tonne haluaa lippuja hankkia itselleen, niin linkki löytyy tosta chatista, ja sitten meidän jäsenille tulee vielä muutaman päivän kuluttua, kun me saadaan se alennuskoodi, niin tulee sitten vielä vähän alennettuun hintaan noin liput. Mutta tällä mennään. Kiitos tästä illasta, ja nähdään taas pyörteissä seuraavan kerran pari viikon kuluttua ja muuten siellä jossain. Hei hei!